So a lot of you have asked about my breastfeeding tips since having my beautiful baby girl, Cairo, and I am no doctor, I am no expert, but this is what worked for me. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future episodes. I have 2 kids, and my firstborn is my son, Cree, Taylor Hardrick, who is almost 8 now. I can't believe it. When I had Cree, I really, really wanted to breastfeed. And it was very hard for me. I was only able to do it for about 3 months. I remember when I wasn't producing enough milk and I desperately had to go to formula, I cried. And it's so weird just as, moms, how emotional you get when you realize that you can't provide your baby with, breast milk. And I just wanna tell the moms out there, if you can't breastfeed your child and if you don't have a great supply, guess what? It is okay. The only thing that your baby really, really needs the most is your love, your affection, and your attention. That is what makes for a beautiful, wonderful mother. Don't ever feel guilty about not ever feeling like you can't produce. It's okay, but I did at that moment. I wish I had someone to say, I did, I had my husband, but I wish that there was more of a community that I could go to let me know, it's okay, don't worry, you know what I mean? If you can't breastfeed, it's okay. Cut to, I now have my daughter, Cairo, who's almost a year, and I'm actually still breastfeeding. One of my biggest tips with breastfeeding would definitely be to do your research. I didn't do a lot of research when I had my son, Cree. I was new to this, I was a new mom, and to be honest with you, I thought it was just gonna come easy. You hear a lot about breastfeeding being such this natural, instinctual thing that just naturally happens. For some women it does, but for many women it does not. So, that was me when I first had Cree. I did not do a lot of research and I thought it was just gonna happen. What I did differently with my daughter Cairo was, while I was pregnant, I read up on a lot of information. When my son was born, I didn't have Instagram. There wasn't this community of women that I could just go to that was just kind of a click away to be informed with a lot of helpful information. So with Cairo, I now had this huge community of moms who were breastfeeding, moms who were having a hard time breastfeeding, and you're able to communicate with them and you're able to talk with them, and a lot of the times they don't even know you. You're just sitting back and watching a YouTube video like this one. And this is why I really wanted to do something like this, because I wanted to inspire and to educate and help a lot of moms out there have a great experience with breastfeeding. Share what you're going through and talk to other moms and be a part of these breastfeeding communities that they have out of there. For example, they have a lot of Facebook pages. They have a lot of Instagram pages where they give information about pumping and how you can build your milk supply, how you pump and breastfeed at work, because I had no idea. So I would just go into the search engine and I would type in how to breastfeed at work, and I would see all of these amazing videos of these women taking their time out of their busy lives. When you have a newborn and a baby, it takes a lot of work to sit down and to explain and to talk about their experience. And so I'm very grateful for what I like to say, the breastfeeding community. So that's what really, really helped. Another thing that helped with me is having friends who were also breastfeeding or who have breastfed. So there's this one girl in particular, she had been breastfeeding her daughter for 3 years, and she just stopped after 3 years. And whenever I felt like giving up, or whenever I felt like I just couldn't do this anymore, she was actually on set with me. So she would do my hair on certain projects, and she was right there with me saying, Tia, you got this. She would tell me, don't be afraid to ask for the time that you need. If you're going back to work, let your employer know that you are breastfeeding, and it is the law for them to require time and a room, not the restroom, for you to pump. With my son Cree, we didn't have a lot of breastfeeding laws that we have now, and I would always feel guilty about stepping away from a production because time is money in this business. And if I have to step away for 20 minutes every 3 hours to pump, I would feel guilty about that. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I also wasn't really supported at all. So now knowing my rights and doing my research, and then having a friend there to encourage me to say, Tia, it is okay to ask for time to step away for 20 minutes to pump for your daughter. Like, you are feeding and keeping your daughter alive with your milk. So this is really important. Everybody else can just wait for a second. And then a lot of the times when I was on set, because I would work 15, 16 hours on movies, that's a long time. And I would pump every 3 hours, okay? And a lot of the actors, and a lot of them were guys, but they knew that they would call it Tia time. They'd be like, Tia, man, I love Tia time. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, dude, if you get a 20-minute break, I get a 20-minute break. So I was helping everybody out. You know, I was looking at it as if it was a bad thing, but they were like, Tia, you're helping me get a break too. Another thing that I did that I didn't do with my son when I was breastfeeding was I didn't take advantage of my lactation consultant. After you have your baby in the hospital, what will happen is the hospital hires a lactation consultant or a lactation nurse, and they'll come in and they'll just help you with the whole nursing process. I will say one of the coolest things, and I didn't even know this, was when the nurse had me have my baby sit on my chest, and it's a natural instinct for the baby to crawl. They literally crawl and move to the nipple. Like, it's something that they want them to do on their own, and it is just the cutest thing. Your lactation nurse or consultant will help you with all of the do's and the don'ts that, you know, come along with breastfeeding. What I did differently than what I did with my son was, after my hospital visit, I ended up hiring a lactation consultant that would be with me throughout my whole entire breastfeeding journey. You and your baby are getting used to each other, right? Your baby's learning how to properly latch. You're learning how to properly adjust your baby so that they can have a great latch. And this is all new to you, and your nipples are sore, like they hurt like hell. But when you have someone like a lactation consultant who's right by your side, they're constantly encouraging you and, you know, rooting you on and telling you that this is gonna pass. Like, you can do this, don't give up. And this woman, I can almost start crying. I don't know why, but she is the reason why I was able to continue this whole breastfeeding experience, and her name is Jennifer. I love you, but she was there for me for every question that I had, and she was just there, just holding my hand through the whole experience, just saying, Tia, you got this, you could do this. If my daughter all of a sudden started having gas, she's like, Tia, what did you have? You know, because I would want to quit sometimes. I would be like, oh my gosh, my baby's crying. And then I would literally text her like at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and she would write me back. And she's like, hey Tia, what's going on? I'm at dinner with my husband, but my husband let me step away. You know, tell me what's going on. And then she would just be there for me. And I could not have done it if it weren't for you, Jennifer. So, mwah, I love you. Now, some people, they can't have a lactation consultant, you know what I mean, present. And then that's where a lot of YouTube videos come into play. My daughter, I will say this, she was a G. That girl, I mean, when I was in the hospital, they would even have other nurses come in and say, look at this. This girl, she just knew how to properly latch, man. I believe that also attributed to me having, you know, breastfeeding success, because she just knew how to do it. But again, as she grows, there were times where, you know, a baby will kind of lose it and you kind of have to guide them again, especially if you like introduce a bottle. You want to wait as long as you can to introduce your baby to the bottle. When your baby latches, you will get more milk, just period. When your baby latches on, it is mind-blowing how the way just your body and the baby, you know, they say saliva, like when the baby's saliva hits, you know, you and your breast, and just for some reason your body just knows, and it just like milk will just come out of nowhere. You also don't want to introduce them to the bottle too early because you don't want them to neglect you and to neglect your nipple, because the nipple has a quicker flow of milk coming out as opposed to your breast. So if the baby gets used to having a lot come out, you know, they're gonna want that as opposed to your breast. But there are tons of bottles out there that have the feel of a breast and a nipple that's like the breast, and also where the flow of the milk doesn't come out too heavy. And that's what I did with my daughter. She was really, really great going from the bottle to the breast, the bottle to the breast. Like, she really didn't know the difference, which was awesome. And I credit that to getting the proper bottle. I introduced my daughter to the bottle, I wanna say maybe around like 8 to 12 weeks. And I did this because I had to go back to work. And now that I'm going back to work, I knew that I couldn't take my baby with me all the time. Therefore, I needed to learn how to pump. Oh, the good old pumping machine. I'm telling you, oh my gosh, the pumping machine became my best friend. Find the pump that works best for you. I definitely feel very blessed that I was able to have different types of pumps for different situations. So for example, I absolutely loved the Medela Symphony because this is the hospital grade pumping machine that I didn't have with my son Cree. It was introduced to me by a breastfeeding mom who swore by it. It is on the pricey side, but guess what? You can actually rent it, which is so awesome. They say it's hospital grade because it takes a lot of power. Sometimes you need a powerful machine to give you great milk supply. I would basically use the strong pumping machine in the morning because I needed to get the most milk in the morning because I wanted to make sure that I left my daughter with enough milk while I went to work. You wanna make sure that you mimic your child's feeding schedule. So 3 hours later, I would pump again and I would pump at work. But what I would do is, instead of bringing this big machine, I would bring this hand pump. And this hand pump, oh my gosh, it is still my best friend. You don't have to plug it up, right? So you don't have to look for an outlet. You can pump as fast as you can pump as slow as you can, whereas with the machine, it just kind of has one little wah, wah, wah. And then when you're at work, you know, sometimes you want to do it, you know, quickly. Every working environment has a refrigerator. So just go ahead, claim your spot in the freezer or the refrigerator. Put your name on it and say, this is my stuff. I learned this from YouTube, is flying while pumping. Because, you know, I am an actress and I would fly a lot. And I would still have to keep, you know, pumping every 3 hours. That's what really kept my milk supply up, is making sure that you stay committed to pumping every 3 hours. My lactation consultant told me, and I didn't have this information before, when you wait in a 6-hour period, that's when your milk supply tends to drop. So you don't ever wanna go past that 6-hour mark because that's when your body will start to decrease in milk supply. So stay consistent with pumping every 3 hours, and that's why I love that hand pump, because no matter where I was, whether I was on a plane or whether I was in the car or what, I would just pump away. Shout out to American Airlines, man. You guys rock. All of the flight attendants, they knew what I was doing. They would always provide me with ice. They would give me bags, like these leak-proof bags, and they would just put all of this ice in, and then I would put all of my milk in there, and it would be fine while I would travel. What helped me with breastfeeding in this journey is not being too hard on myself and not getting ahead of myself. Like I said, let me just do it for 2 months, and then we kept on going after 2 months, and then 6 months, kept on going, then 9 months. I didn't put too much of it on myself. I just let it organically kind of flow. I didn't want to get overwhelmed, you know, but here I am. I'm at a year. I can't believe it. And so now I'm starting to wean, and I'm weaning not because of myself. I want to continue to breastfeed my daughter. I just love it. But I'm weaning because my daughter, she's done. For the last 2 or 3 weeks, she does not want to nurse anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, if this is what you want to do, well, this is what you want to do. So I am currently still pumping, but I'm weaning. And what that means is my milk supply is gradually decreasing. Every day or two, my milk supply will go lower and lower. I would pump usually about like 28 to 30 ounces in a day, which is a lot. But now I'm like down to like maybe 6 ounces. So, oh my gosh, this is so hard for me. It's like harder for me than it is for my daughter. She's like, Mommy, I'm done. But I'm like, I don't want to be done. If I could give, weaning moms any advice, my lactation consultant, she told me this. Because you don't realize how emotionally connected you are to breastfeeding. And if you just stop like that, you'll end up depressed. Your hormones are still, they're gonna start lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering, so you don't want it to be a shock. So she told me to just go with the flow. She said, whatever happens, whatever's happening with your body, just listen to it. So whenever I start to feel full, that's when I'll pump, and if not, I will stop pumping. So in a few months, I'll be done. So it's not all about just my bond with my beautiful baby daughter, Cairo. It's also about the bond that my daughter has with my husband, Corey. And I'm telling you guys, they are so adorable together. And if you want to see that, make sure you click the annotation.